Hi, I'm Molly Weiss.
And I'm Blake Wood from InvestNet.
We're live at Future Proof with Ian Carnell, the CEO and founder of Vast Assembly. Thanks for joining us, Ian.
Thank you for having me.
So, from your perspective, Ian, what's the biggest shift happening in wealth tech right now, and how is your company helping advisors and investors adapt?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest trend that we see, obviously, with respect to AI is intelligent automation in the front, mid, and back office. I think those are that's the single biggest trend we're beginning to see that has the most transformative kind of impact to the industry today. We see in the mid and back office, these automations that I believe are having a fundamental impact on capacity and the ability to disconnect a firm's capability of taking on more AUM inflow from human capacity. So not necessarily having the number of advisors gate the amount of AUM inflow that you can take at any point in time, which from my perspective is impacting the front office trend that I'm trying to solve for, which is, can we drive accelerated organic growth across wealth management firms and RIAs because of this, increasing capacity and being able to target a larger marketplace, target accelerated growth, and do it programmatically. So I think that's claimed the biggest trend or the biggest impact in wealth is AI automation.
So, as the founder of a startup, you're probably an expert at this, but give us your elevator pitch.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm solving for an $8 billion problem within wealth. That is the cost that advisors in the United States spend today to drive organic growth for their firms, be it referral-based or vendor-based, meaning the lead brokers that are selling, like the Smart Assets and the Zoes of the world that are selling leads at a premium. So I'm attacking that marketplace. I want to democratize the platforms that the lead brokers utilize today to drive leads into these advisors, but remove 90% of the costs.
So AI automation, both maybe from your company's perspective and in the industry at large, over the next 3 to 5 years, how do you see that impacting our space?
Well, I mean, massively. From a front office perspective, right? I mean, so if RIAs are spending $8 billion a year to drive organic growth, and there's a massive opportunity to take out 90% of that cost, that will do a lot to drive profitability. That profitability can be reinvested back into, their ability to compete for, a much larger, I believe, market share that becomes available. Obviously, the mass affluent and the, ultra high net worth will continue to be a primary focus for the industry. But I think the aperture is going to continue to expand. There's $7 trillion of assets that haven't really been programmatically competed for in this marketplace. And I think AI opens that up.
So maybe a little bit separate from automation. What about just kind of true AI capabilities? Like, how do you see that shaping the way that advisors can run their businesses?
Yeah, you guys are doing a lot with decision intelligence, driving insights that are hyper predictive that advisors can rely on. And that in of itself driving growth.
It's taking data and making it useful for advisors. And we've been, as you know, working on that for quite a while.
Exactly.
And appreciate the shout out to Decision Intelligence and what that team's doing. It's amazing. How do you look at AI tools for communicating with end investors or just consumers in general using language?
The next generation of investor is very tech savvy, very, data aware. They're leveraging social media channels and digital channels just writ large as a way to get investment ideas, as a way to evaluate who they want their advisor to be. It's very different than their parents' generation and what they leverage to evaluate advisors. This next generation of investor, we know they don't value referrals as much as their parents did. So the primary method for how advisors have been driving organic growth, that's changing. And so the mechanisms that you have to leverage today to reach out to these prospective investors are going to be through digital channels powered by AI in many ways that will open up capabilities to leverage AI. Like when you think of mid-funnel and down-funnel, automations that do impact how an advisor communicates with a hot lead or warm lead that's in their sales funnel, and understanding the nuance of where that lead came from and leveraging natural language as a way to communicate your value proposition and that will resonate with that prospect will do a lot with driving ultimately trust, which is, we know, a key component of the mass affluent or the ultra high net worth. And so trust is, I think a function of how well you can communicate in a way that, again, resonates with your target audience. And I think AI is doing a lot to solve for that.
So in terms of partnerships, where are you finding partnerships? What types of firms are starting to have meaningful conversations with you?
Obviously we've had very, productive conversations with InvestNet and excited about ways that we can leverage your entire, data solutions platform as a way to inform audience building on a platform like Vast Advisor so that we can drive digital activation in ways that have never been done before at the asset manager level and all the way down to the RIA level. So that's really exciting to us. From a manager perspective, we've had, very, very productive conversation with the likes of BlackRock and SCI, where they're looking at how do they leverage tools like Vast Advisor to drive not only their own organic growth, but distribute that out through their practice management team to their large networks and try to figure out ways of accelerating AUM inflows through new digital channels that have been relatively new. So that's exciting as well. Yeah.
So we're here in Huntington Beach, near the beach, on the beach. It's getting hot, but it is one of the coolest conferences I think that's ever been put on in our industry.
Yep.
The coolest advisors, some of the coolest tech. Is there one company you call out other than your own that's doing some really cool stuff that you find really interesting?
Yeah, so I think I was on a panel with the CEO of Catchlight over Fidelity, and I think, they're doing some AI-powered lead scoring, lead intelligence. And for me, for where I'm focused on, in the front office, I think they're working on some really innovative things. That's an integration that we're absolutely looking to include within Vast Advisor as we continue to roll it out. So I think Fidelity and Catchlight are doing some interesting things that are worth taking a look at, particularly on the organic growth side of the business.
All right, a little bit more personal. Is there a book or a TV series or a movie you're really excited about right now?
Well, so I think, there's a number of AI podcasts that I follow, like the AI Breakdown is a podcast that I listen to often, or open up GPT and start using it to help train you. Using AI for AI is one of the best use cases on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I tell my kids use ChatGPT all the time, and it's been really interesting to watch education evolve to accommodate AI. Yep. They did come home from school last week saying there's this thing called a blue book, because their teachers are now having them write in class essays. And I was like,
we know those.
Sorry for your pain, but welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
So let's jump into some rapid fire questions. We'll start with crypto. Flash in the pan, here to stay.
Here to stay.
Agree. Royalty income, like music royalties, energy royalties. Do you think that's a niche play for high net worth, ultra high net worth?
Well, I think they're all niche. I think the tokenization of real world assets are going to open a number of different opportunities for wealth to really expand and play in different asset types than we've ever had in the past.
Alternative investments with the private placements, do you think they'll be mainstream in the next 5 years?
Yep, I think alt is huge. Alt are huge.
All right, finfluencers, which Blake and I are trying to be right now. We're doing our.
I think we're failing fast.
Don't say that. I think this is the beginning of our career. Do you think that it's a threat, a fad?
I think it presents new opportunities for wealth advisors. Again, you have to look at who their audience is, and it's the next generation of investors. So follow the money, right? And so where they're getting their investment ideas, how they're even exploring who their next financial advisor is going to be, is through those influencers. I can't even say it.
All right, so last rapid fire question. If there's one thing in the old wealth management world you could throw out, what would it be?
Steak dinners.
Love it. Not only steak dinners, but 5-hour marathon dinners at the steakhouse.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. With 10 PowerPoints in between every course.
Yes.
Yep. Podcast versus porterhouses.
Oh, that was a great answer. That was unexpected. That was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us, Ian. That was awesome.
I appreciate it.
That was Ian Carnell, CEO and founder of Vast Assembly. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome.